What's going on, Memorial basketball fans? I'm Charles Strayer.
And I'm Teddy Harless, and welcome to Eagle Eye's Week 4 basketball video.
Yeah, so we've got a great video for you guys here. We are going to go over the girls' games against North and Logan, and we are going to go over the Battle of the Undefeateds in which Memorial boys basketball conquered the River Falls Wildcats.
In a thrilling overtime victory.
Let's get into it.
First, let's talk about the crosstown showdown against North for girls basketball.
A 57-51 victory was the result, a little closer than a lot of people would have guessed. We were actually down by one going into the second half, which is a trend for both basketball teams this season, but girls in particular having, a little bit of a back and forth contest in the first half, but ultimately coming out and pulling ahead. Now, what do you think is something that was really instrumental in turning it around once again and getting a win?
Oh, free throws, definitely. North played a very physical game, a little too physical at times, and that showed. We went to the line about 20 times, I think, right?
We were 20 for 33 on free throw attempts. And in a 6-point game, enough said, the numbers speak for themselves there. We were actually shooting a little below average just about everywhere in that game. But going to the line and then having ice in our veins there, that really helped out and just made sure that though it was close and North was putting up a lot of points, we were able to come out on top with what we were given.
And that's not due to Ellie O'Keefe, who we talked about before the week, and she had a big game in the week. 20 points, I believe, she scored just by herself. Great game by her. Little less by
the rest of the team was a little behind O'Keefe's pace. I think just making sure that even though it would have been nice to shut down O'Keefe a little more, making sure that she had fewer options meant that, one person on one team, they can make a big difference, but they're only one person. 5 players on the court for each side at any one time, and I think that we, in particular, were able to use more of a team-minded mentality to come out ahead, just making sure that everybody was in a good spot and getting something going.
And moving on to the individual player side, Raina Welsh only played 14 minutes in foul trouble all game, but in those 14 minutes she was able to make a huge impact with 12 points and 9 rebounds.
Yeah, so the legitimacy of those fouls being called a little up for debate. However, she was able to work with what she had, and that certainly was a big difference maker. Now, not to say we told you so, but Lydia, Paulmier, and Raya Shaw, as we talked about last week, have been a great contributing factor in the scoring offense here for the team. And 11 points for Shaw, 14 for Paulmier. They had a great second half in particular. Raya Shaw, she's fast, she's aggressive, breakaway steals for layups that really changed the tone of the game. I think that was really something that made a big difference in the win.
Started off a little slow, but she got cooking there.
Yeah, for sure. They can't be kept down for long, and I think that's why all of these individuals, they contribute very nicely to this offensive scheme that was able to overcome a fairly aggressive.
Moving on, we had a 79-35 win here at home against Logan. A win we all expected, but one that was nice to have nonetheless. And it was due a lot to a great effective field goal percentage, 57.9%. which was in large part due to increases in the paint and from three. One person to point out, Olivia Cooper knocking it down from 3-point range last week.
Always nice to see. And now I think, Lacrosse Logan didn't have the cleanest record coming into this. Confidence was very high before and during the game. But regardless of that, we need to consider that, regardless of how good the opponent is or not, a win is a win. Now, it all adds up, and especially, we get to mid-season, towards the end of the season, just coming in with confidence regardless of opponent and playing aggressively, because you never know what's going to happen. Like, basketball is sometimes a pretty surprising game. So making sure that we just act like we belong on the where we are on the record, and just looking to be aggressive in every outing, regardless of the opponent's record. I think we've been doing a great job at that, and I think we should look into continuing that moving forward. Looking ahead, it should be business as usual for our girls,
where we're starting off this Tuesday on the road against the winless New Richmond Tigers, and then taking it home to go up against the 2-4 Wausau West Warriors.
At 7-1, I think we're in a quite good spot.
Next up, boy, do we have a segment for you this week.
We have a River Falls Eau Claire Memorial down to the wire overtime showdown at the Wildcats, and we won it. A 68-61 battle of the then undefeateds, and we came out on top. Boy, was it a game.
Yeah, not undefeated anymore.
Yeah, we are riding strong, 6-0 Eau Claire Memorial. River Falls takes the loss, though. It was a very interesting game.
And they had a worryingly strong second half led by Joey Butts, who scored 32 points on the night. Fantastic game by him.
Yeah, he had the buzzer beater that tied the game and eventually took us into overtime. We were up 37-20 at the half. It was cut to a 0-point lead for a tie going into overtime, but the 9-2 overtime period sealed the deal for the Abes. River Falls falls to 4-1, and we remain undefeated with a now 6-0 record. And it was a hard-fought battle. A lot of stars coming out at River Falls, just making it an awesome spectacle.
Yeah, and two most notable among them were Julius Clark and Wesley Mboga. Julius only missed 2 times from the field in the entire 15-point game he had. That is just an amazing performance. And Wesley led the team with 19 points.
Yeah, those guys were having a great night. Everybody else was doing very well as well. Even when River Falls was starting to crawl back, offense had a little bit of a slow patch, but when it mattered most, we got back at it. And I think just the fact that we were able to get up the 17 points to be up at the half, that is something that's very important. Even though the lead didn't stay quite as well as I think Brisky and the coaches probably wanted it to stay, I think it is important that we came out there away against an undefeated team, and we were able to have a double-digit lead going into the half. Now, that's not nothing.
And you were talking about the second half loss that we had, but I think it really shows the character of the team that after it seemed like everything was slipping away and it seemed destined that we would lose the game, we came out and held them to only get 2 points in overtime. That's not something you see often.
Yeah.
Oftentimes a team would be broken down after having a lead that big and the game going into overtime, but that just didn't happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think credit to the coaching staff there, just making sure that grit and determination was always there. River Falls played a heck of a game, but we showed that, it doesn't matter which way the game flows, we were going to come out on top in that game. Confidence was essential there. And yeah, defensively, especially in that overtime period and that first half, were great. All around, it was still an excellent game.
Yeah. Most important thing, 2 teams went in undefeated, 1 team went out undefeated, and it was us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we could have asked for a better game against River Falls. It lived up to the hype for sure. And I have nothing but confidence in these Abes after such a stellar performance.
Coming off a win against the River Falls Wildcats, things aren't getting any easier. We're going up against the New Richmond Tigers at home, who are currently 2nd in the conference, and then taking it on the road against undefeated SPASH.
Yeah, so SPASH is 7-0 here at the time of this video. New Richmond isn't far behind him at 5-1. These 2 teams are gonna come to play. Now, I think that this is going to be a good thing for us. We just came off of a big win against the then undefeated Wildcats, as we've been saying. And I think that this is a great opportunity to, we win these big 3 in a row. It is going to be smooth sailing from here on out. We're going to have some challenges, but I think this is going to be a true testament to what this team is made of. I am very excited for this week.
And looking ahead at SPASH specifically, they share eerily similar statistics to us, similar points per game, similar defensive statistics. It all looks very similar, so it should be a tough fight.
Yeah, we've got some great games, to look forward to here. Girls should be able to, continue their 4-game win streak. I think they're in good shape. And then the boys, if they come out of this week with 2 wins, it is going to be very exciting here at Eau Claire Memorial. Go Aves!
Hi everybody, I'm Aidan Rickert, Eagle Eyes, Other Guy. If you're interested in more MHS sports content, be sure to check out our TikTok, Instagram, and check out some of the other videos on our YouTube channel. And while you're at it, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more. Go Abes!